Hey everyone, I told you that I'd be traveling just over the next couple days and that, well, I'm doing a special report to you from the Rock. Now, as you can probably tell from my surroundings, I am not in Iraq. I am in the Rock, which is the Republic of Korea. And if you look over my shoulder over here, back past that way, North Korea is literally under 20 miles away right over there. That's the DMZ just behind those that ridge line back there. And so we are very, very close to North Korea. And so we're going to be talking about what's going on with North Korea, because there's actually been quite a bit of news just in the past week. We haven't heard a lot from them for weeks and weeks and months, and then suddenly they decided they want to be in the news again. Now, with all the things popping off in Eastern Europe and with Russia and everything like that, they want their share of attention too, apparently. We got suddenly North Korea is sending more troops to Ukraine, so we're hearing at least 1,000 are going to go train in Russia, and then they'll probably be deployed to the front lines in Ukraine conflict. Now, they won't probably go into Ukraine. They'll probably be fighting in the Kursk bubble. That way they get to stay inside Russia. That kind of limits that way North Korea isn't sending troops into another country. They're just helping their ally Russia to push back an invasion from into their area. So that's happening right now. We also have to talk about nuclear readiness. We need to talk about cruise missiles. We need to talk about hackers. North Korean hackers stole a little bit of money in the billions. Once you start talking about billions of dollars, it becomes a lot of money, and need to be talking about that as well. So they're back in the news, and like I said, because I happen to be flying through here, and there it is right back in there, that ridge line back there. I got it a little kind of blurry, but it's that whole area right there. Ridge line extending out there. Some of that's a building, and then some of that's the ridge line, grassy ridge line. But yeah, literally I'm at the Incheon airport, and it is 20 miles that way. That way's north. So 20 miles that way, as the bird flies, you will run smack dab into the DMZ. Not a place you really want to go. Because one, there's nothing on the other side that you want to go to. I promise you that is for sure. Everyone over there wants to go somewhere else. But what is up with, let's start off with what is up with this whole North Korea sending troops to Ukraine, or the conflict in Ukraine. From what it seems like, they are basically state level mercenaries. They're not doing this because they want to go, and the country is not sending them because the country wants them to go either. Some people have speculated that they want to bloody their troops. They want to get them some combat experience. That's not really what's going on here. Apparently, this was part of a deal. Basically, Putin wants to make this an international kind of effort, and so by having North Korean troops there, just another nation helping out, really kind of makes the political thing more palatable. Then Russia can be like, hey, we got people coming and helping us. We got this. We're not just doing this all alone. Other countries see that we're being the ones who are wronged, and it's just a whole political thing. But money is changing hands, and weapons are changing hands, and potentially nuclear scientists are moving around in the background. And in exchange for unknown things, Russia's getting a whole lot of artillery shells, which sort of work. They're not highly produced artillery shells. There's some reports that the Russians are actually having to take their artillery shells apart and put new explosives in them, put new gun cotton in them, because the gun cotton in them is so irregular that the shells are going too far or too short, and it's a big mess. But it's easier to take them apart, put some new gun cotton in them, and then put them back together again than to actually manufacture new shells. So that's kind of going on there. And then, of course, Kim Jong-un is sending his North Korean troops to help in the Kursk area. So that's happening as well. And then what exactly is Russia giving in return? We don't know that exactly. We just know that a whole bunch of shipping containers have been arriving in North Korea. Beyond that, what's in them? Hard to say. I'm sure the intelligence agencies probably know more than what's being publicly released, but us normal people, we can only speculate. But one has to ask the question, with Kim Jong-un pursuing nuclear weapons, is there some sort of nuclear exchange in this? Just yesterday, NBC News, here's the headline: North Korea's Kim orders nuclear readiness after missile test, state media says. So they just did a missile test, and because kind of went well, the idea is, well, we need to have a nuclear weapon ready to go on the missile. And so they're still trying to put together it seems like they're still trying to put together a functioning nuclear missile. So that's a good sign that they haven't been able to figure that out yet. There's a speculation of whether they've actually been able to successfully test any nuclear weapons, or whether they've faked the testing by just detonating large amounts of explosives underground to kind of simulate a nuclear test. The readings that people have gotten off of, and countries have gotten off those earthquakes, did make it look a little suspicious, like as if it wasn't a nuclear detonation, or the nuclear detonation didn't like fully go off, so like a partial detonation, and not a great test. So it's either a fake test or not a great test. And this was years and years ago. So we haven't seen that recently. He wouldn't dare do that while Trump's president, of course. The FBI is now accusing North Korean-backed hackers from right back over there of stealing $1.5 billion in cryptocurrency from Dubai. This is a Dubai cryptocurrency exchange. This gets back to if you have cryptocurrency, you should hold it in your own private wallet. Don't have it on an exchange. People who have it on the exchange are more the kind of people that are trading it back and forth, and they want to have easy access to it. If you really are getting it so that you can use it in the future or to hold it as an investment, then take it off the Coinbase or wherever you have it. Take it off the platform, put it into your private wallet, make sure it's very secure, make sure you don't lose the key, because you need to know the key. Write the key down on a piece of paper, hide the piece of paper. That's a good idea right there, because digital, computers, laptops, phones, they have a tendency to get broken or destroyed. But if it's on one of these crypto exchanges, it's susceptible to being hacked, much more so. They don't have to break the encryption of the cryptocurrency. They can just break the encryption of the security of the website, or the program that your cryptocurrency is being traded on. They can hack that. And there's so many more exploits built in that it's much easier for them to hack these exchanges than it is to actually attack the cryptocurrencies themselves. So North Korea stole $1.5 billion worth of cryptocurrency, and the way cryptocurrency works, it's just gone. You're not getting that back. There's no way of clawing that back. Whoever has the keys to that, they have control over it. Normally they say, possession is 9/10 the ownership, right? So whoever possesses it basically mostly owns it already. In cryptocurrency, it's 10 out of 10. Whoever possesses it owns it. So if you don't actually possess the keys, like if it's on a cryptocurrency exchange, you don't own it. You just don't. They can tell you that you do, but you don't. Also, just off the west coast up here, west coast of North Korea up that way, they just tested cruise missiles. And they launched them. They went hundreds of kilometers and then apparently struck a target. It appears from what we can tell that they seemed to hit the target that they intended. But then again, they didn't say what they were going to hit beforehand, but the targets out in the ocean made it look like they hit what they were shooting at. So they are doing missile tests. This has previously gotten President Trump's attention in the previous administration. Then they're also talking about nuclear readiness. Right now, where I'm sitting, because we're within 20 miles of the DMZ, this, if a conflict broke out with North Korea, this would be one of the locations that would probably get hit by artillery fire. North Korea would probably pummel this place with their long-range artillery, and not exactly the safest place to be. Now, of course, all the South Koreans have built up Seoul like nobody's business, and it's all within artillery range of North Korea, which is not the best place to build a city. Now, of course, the city was already there, but then they could have chosen not to keep developing it because it was too close to the DMZ, but they did it anyway. I don't know if it's kind of a brave thing, that just kind of thumbing your nose at them, or if it was just a very foolish thing to do. And only time will tell. History will tell us whether it was a good decision or whether it was a bad decision. But we are very close, and that means that this airport, a massive major international hub, is within artillery range of North Korea. And as we see this thing escalate with North Korea over the next number of months, which it seems like it's going to be, North Korea kind of goes in these cycles. They disappear from the news for a while when they're getting paid off, and then when they stop getting paid off, then they start doing stuff in order to start getting money again. Now, if you can just think for just a moment what has happened in the last several weeks or the last month that might indicate North Korea maybe stopped getting money. And if you're thinking, gee, the USAID thing meant that a lot of foreign countries stopped getting money, and you would be absolutely correct. Suddenly, they stopped getting their money, and then suddenly they start acting out, launching missiles, causing a fuss, doing hacking attacks, just enough not to provoke a military response from the world, but enough to get everyone's attention, right? And that's really what we're seeing here again. They seem to be trying to get people's attention, but not do too much that it would really cause a conflict or really cause this thing to go hot. They don't seem to want that. And the reason for that makes a lot of sense, because South Korea is a very serious military force, and there are a lot of American troops stationed here in the country as well. Korea, of course, is a major location for U.S. troops. The amount of U.S. troops are limited by the ceasefire, the temporary ceasefire that has held for quite a few years. So American forces are limited at certain numbers. They can't go above the certain numbers, but generally speaking, the United States always keeps that maximum amount of troops are in the country, except when units are cycling out of the country. Then sometimes the number will drop a little bit while units are coming in and out, just to make sure they don't actually overgo those caps, because they want to kind of keep the things stable. But North Korea is making a fuss, and I think it is mostly they just want the money. So that's probably what's happening. We'll see if this gets President Trump's attention, whether he starts negotiating with Kim Jong-un, whether they start diplomatic connections. I know that President Trump has already said previously in his campaign that he was going to restart negotiations, restart discussions and peace talks with Kim Jong-un. But at the same time, President Trump has a lot on his plate right now with Europe, with Israel, Iran, Russia, Ukraine, everywhere around the world. President Trump has got problems, cartels down in Mexico. Everywhere you go, President Trump has got stuff blowing up all over the place, and he's working on handling that with his team. Do they really want to throw North Korea on the plate as well? I'm going to guess they probably don't want to deal with that right now. So whether they can quietly make it go away temporarily so they can come back to it later, or whether they just ignore the rumblings. Now, if they ignore the rumblings, we know what happens next. North Korea starts demanding more and more attention. They will do bigger things until they get that attention. They will provoke fights with South Korea. They will do propaganda stuff. They will work with allies, their allies, in order to provoke the West. So that's probably what will happen next. Is they'll probably get ignored for a while longer. They'll probably do something more and more extreme until they get that attention that they really want. And then we'll see if North Korea gets what it wants, or whether President Trump puts them in their place. So President Trump has been less generous this time around with other countries that are causing problems. And he seems to be just doing a whole lot less making people happy, and more doing things that just need to be done. And so we may see that he takes a hard line on North Korea, or we may see that he really does open up to get a backdoor deal started to be hammered out with North Korea to try to get a peace treaty. If he can pull North Korea out of the Russia-China team and try to pull them into the West, that would be a coup de grace. That would be truly amazing and really change the world as we see it. That would bring peace and prosperity to North Korea as well as South Korea. It would really open up a lot of opportunities for South Korea to really reunify, and families got broken up by the DMZ being drawn where it was. It was a huge tragedy, and what has happened for the last 70 years now in North Korea has been one of the worst humanitarian and human rights abuses that the world has ever seen. And they cover it up, but it is absolutely tragic and horrifying what has happened and what is happening right now over there. To Christians and to others. A lot of people don't know this, but North Korea used to be called, I'm sorry, I forgot it already. Basically, it was the hub of Christianity. There was revivals that happened in North Korea before the communists came in. And so that's why the Christians are so numerous up there. They had massive, powerful revivals that happened up there before the takeover and all that kind of thing. So that is history that most people don't know about. But yeah, we'll keep an eye on things. I'll keep you updated on things, and I will be back in the States shortly and let you know how things are looking from over there. Thanks so much for watching. Steve Poplar of the Poplar Report, out.